Malaysians returning from Wuhan, China to be quarantined. No import of live animals products from Shaoyang, China. You're watching News on 2 on RTM2 with me, Renee Fong. Good evening. Malaysian citizens, including all those involved in repatriating them from the novel coronavirus epicenter in Wuhan, China, will have to undergo mandatory 14 days quarantine once they return. According to Health Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad today, this will include 141 Malaysian evacuees, 8 government officers who are in the Air Asia flight, 12 flight crews, as well as 6 personnel from Malaysian Embassy in Beijing who travelled to Wuhan by land last week to prepare for the operation.
Mereka yang akan dibawa pulang hanyalah mereka yang didapati sihat setelah melalui saringan kesihatan, that exit screening yang saya maksudkan tadi yang dilakukan di sana ya oleh kerajaan China, yang akan dilakukan oleh pihak berkuasa kesihatan negara China di lapangan terbang antarabangsa Wuhan Tianhe. Ya, jadi itu adalah yang akan dilakukan secara exit screening, dibuat di sana dan didapati hanya yang sihat saja yang diizinkan untuk naik pesawat. Yang lain akan terus dirawat seterusnya di fasiliti di negeri di bandar Wuhan di negeri China ya, di bandar Hubei ya, provinsi Hubei. Baik, mereka yang didapati bergejala pula, ya, as I've said, saya ulangi, mereka yang didapati bergejala akan dibawa ke fasiliti kesihatan di Wuhan untuk menerima rawatan selanjutnya.
Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli also said that all of the passengers in the returning flight will not enter the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA building and instead will be brought to a quarantine area. He added that all passengers on the flight, the crew and health ministry staff involved will be quarantined, adding that their families will not be allowed to visit them during the quarantine period. Meanwhile, the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, announced that the Air Asia flight with 12 crews and 8 workers departed KLIA at 3:50 p.m. today to the Tianhe Wuhan airport for the special mission. They are scheduled to arrive back at KLIA tomorrow morning. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail in a statement also said that the flight also carries the necessary supplies such as masks, gloves and food, subject to a list approved by the Chinese government. According to NADMA, preparations are in place to welcome the Malaysian citizens and their families, adding that tents had also been set up, along with medical supplies and other necessary preparations to carry out the medical examinations. NADMA said officers from the Hazardous Materials Management Team HAZMAT were also deployed at the site. The World Health Organization WHO data shows that 361 deaths were recorded from more than 16,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus worldwide. This was an increase compared to 304 deaths from 14,557 confirmed cases reported yesterday. According to Medicine and Respiratory Specialist President of Mercy Malaysia, Datuk Dr. Ahmad Faizal Firdaus, novel coronavirus are dangerous and could cause death.
Ianya bahaya, ianya boleh membawa maut. Tetapi kadar kematian ya, ataupun case fatality rate kita panggil dalam bahasa perubatannya sebenarnya tidaklah begitu tinggi. Di sini kita harus walaupun jadi dengan itu kita harus berwaspada, bersiap siaga sebab kadar jangkitannya setakat ini juga dalam kadar yang tinggi itu di negeri China, negeri China. Di luar negeri China apabila telah dilakukan kawalan dan juga langkah-langkah berjaga-jaga oleh negara-negara di sekeliling negeri China yang punya interaksi dengan China ini, termasuk juga negara barat, tapi terutama sekali negara-negara Asia, kita lihat bahawa kadar peningkatan jangkitan tidaklah begitu tinggi.
He was speaking to RTM after the appearing as a guest in the Selamat Pagi Malaysia program at Wisma Berita Angkasa Puri. Nevertheless, Datuk Dr. Ahmad Faizal called on the people not to panic as it can cause the dissemination of fake news. Various professional and NGOs related to medical field have also called on the public to remain calm, rational and responsible when dealing with the coronavirus infectious disease. Thus, he urged the people to give utmost importance to their health and avoid unnecessary travelling to China until the disease could be contained completely. Malindo Air has temporarily suspended 2 more services between Malaysia and China due to the ongoing novel coronavirus 2019 and COVID outbreak. In a statement today, the airline said the routes involved are Kota Kinabalu Tianjin, Kota Kinabalu, in which the temporary suspension were effective from 1st to 29th February, while Johor Bahru Guangzhou, Johor Bahru routes, the suspension would be effective from 11th to 29th February. Malindo Air has advised passengers affected by the suspensions to contact its call centre at +603 7841 5388 for further assistance. The statement also said the airline would continuously monitor the situation in China to ensure the safety of its passengers and crews. The airline operates 3 weekly scheduled flights between Kota Kinabalu and Tianjin and 3 weekly flights between Johor Bahru and Guangzhou. It had earlier announced the temporary suspension of its thrice weekly services between Kota Kinabalu and Wuhan, which started on 24th January. University Malaysia Kelantan UMK has postponed registration of students from China for the February admission session. UMK Vice Chancellor Professor Datuk Dr. Nur Azizi Ismail said the admission registrations for those students will be rescheduled to September, pending on the current situation. Met after opening the Research and Innovation Carnival in Bachok, Professor Datuk Dr. Nur Azizi said UMK is expecting 200 international students from China to register with the university this year. He also said that the health screening will be carried out by the UMK Health Centre on the current university's existing international students as a precautionary measure. The UMK Vice Chancellor added that the university had also halted its exchange student program to China, which was scheduled for this month, as well as several international programs, including seminars and Memorandum of Understanding signing sessions. Malaysia does not import any live animals or products from Shaoyang in China's Hunan province, where an outbreak of a highly pathogenic strain of H5N1 bird flu was reported. Despite that, the Veterinary Services Department said it will continue to monitor the situation and will be in touch with the World Organization for Animal Health, OIE, to find out the status of the situation from time to time. According to a statement from the Veterinary Services Department, Malaysia imports chicken cuttings from a chicken processing plant in Laocheng, Shandong, which is about 1,313 kilometers away from the scene of the outbreak. The department said that it regularly takes samples of the chicken cuttings to be tested for H5N1 disease, and so far there has been no positive samples. It added that precautionary measures will be intensified and samples will be taken from every consignment for testing. Last Saturday, Reuters reported that China has an outbreak of H5N1 that occurred on a Shaoyang farm with 7,850 chickens, 4,500 of which have died of the bird flu. The Chinese authorities have culled 17,828 poultry following the outbreak. You're back with me, Renee Fong. The highly anticipated start of Datin Sri Rosmah Mansour's graft trial today did not materialize after the wife of former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Razak was taken ill. Her counsel, Datuk Jagjit Singh, informed the High Court that Datin Sri Rosmah was too unwell to attend court and has been given sick leave until next week due to a serious medical condition. High Court Judge Justice Muhammad Zaini Mazlan, however, only allowed court to be adjourned for the day and for Tuesday's date to be vacated. Justice Muhammad Zaini set Wednesday as the new starting date for Datin Sri Rosma's graft trial. Datuk Jagjid, in explaining why his client was absent, said that Datin Sri Rosma was suffering from severe recurrent neck pain apart from dizziness and osteoarthritis to the knees. His explanation invited laughter in court when he said that it was a life-threatening condition based on his search on Google. Lead prosecutor Datuk Sri Gopal Sri Ram, however, opposed to the sick leave, arguing that prosecution was not informed of it earlier. On 15th November 2018, Datin Sri Rosma claimed trial to 2 charges of graft involving 187.5 million ringgit relating to projects to provide electricity to schools in Sarawak. On 10th April 2019, Datin Sri Rosma was charged again for allegedly receiving a bribe of 5 million ringgit for the same purpose. All of the charges were framed under Section 16, subsection A of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2009. She faces imprisonment of up to 20 years and a fine of no less than 5 times the amount of gratification or 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher if convicted. A total of 271 offences have been recorded under the 2020 Chinese New Year festive season maximum price control scheme SHMPP since it was launched on 20th of January until yesterday. The offences included 6 cases of selling items exceeding the maximum price, 217 cases for not using the special price marks, and 48 cases for failing to display the price tag. In a statement released today, the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister, Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, said a total of 26,872 inspections were carried out nationwide on wholesale and retail outlet premises in the past 14 days. He said 36,200 ringgit of compound notices have been issued, and the value of seized items amounted to 30,324 ringgit and 17 cents. The minister further noted that 16 items have been listed on the festive season price control scheme for Chinese New Year. He added a total of 2,300 officers will monitor the prices of essential goods nationwide to ensure that traders comply with the SHMMP. The Malacca government will implement the second phase of water rationing exercise sometime next week if water supply in the state is still low. Chief Minister Adli Zahari said the water supply rationing exercise was implemented beginning 29th January, while the model for the second phase of the exercise would be announced later.
Ia sebenarnya banyak bergantung kepada keadaan cuaca dan juga hujan. Jadi dan juga beberapa inisiatif yang kita lakukan. Jadi kita mengambil kira tanpa ada sebarang faktor hujan ataupun dalam tempoh sehingga penghujung Mac. Jadi penjadualan ini kita buat tanpa mengambil kira sebarang faktor hujan.
When met after attending the Chinese New Year open house in Malacca, Adli said the total water supply at the 3 dams in the state remained unchanged at 33%. On 29th January, Malacca commenced its daily water rationing exercise involving 550,673 people, or 62.8% of the population, to ensure adequate water supply following the dry spell in the second phase of the northeast monsoon expected to end next month. However, the water rationing exercise does not involve hospitals, industrial areas and tourism centres. Malacca currently has 3 dams, namely the Durian Tunggal Dam in Alor Gajah, while the Jus Dam and Asahan Dam are both located in Jasin. The ammonia gas leak at a factory in Kulim High Tech Park in Kedah last night stemmed from a leakage in a gas supply pipe in the factory's production site. 27 out of 59 workers affected by the incident were taken to the hospital. One of the victims was being treated in the red zone, while 26 were treated in the yellow zone, while 10 others were given treatment at the location of the incident due to breathing problems and vomiting. Kedah Fire and Rescue Department in a statement said 20 of its personnel and officers were dispatched to the location after receiving a distress call at 11:42 p.m. They arrived at the scene at 12:06 a.m. Upon arrival, the fire and rescue team provided first aid consisting of decontamination to all the victims to neutralize the gas before taken over by health officers for further treatments. Datuk Sri Dr. Mujahid Yusof Rawah has expressed regret over actions by cosmetics entrepreneur Muhammad Sajjad Kamaruzaman, better known as Nur Sajjad, who was seen on social media dressed in female attire while performing Umrah. The minister in the Prime Minister's department also claimed that Nur Sajjad's action has put a blemish on the relationship between Malaysia and Saudi Arabia. Speaking to reporters after a Makasid Syariah town hall session with Health Ministry staff today, Datuk Sri Dr. Mujahid said he would also be talking to the travel agent who organised Nur Sajjad's Umrah to seek some answers.
Dari segi apa tindakan, orang akan tanya, what are we going to take action against here? Nombor satu, saya menyatakan saya perlu maklumat yang lebih detail sebab saya sebagai menteri, dalam konteks tindakan kita boleh tengok berbagai alternatif dari segi undang-undang. Pertama, perbuatan dia itu dibuat di Saudi. Dia tidak buat di Malaysia. Itu satu hal lah. Yang kedua, mungkin kita boleh tengok dari segi dia uploadkan benda itu dalam Instagram, dalam Facebook dia. Di situ mungkin ada undang-undang yang boleh kita ambil.
The minister is aware that Nur Sajjad's alleged actions to put on the telekung or the female prayer garb has angered the public. Datuk Sri Dr. Mujahid said by doing this, Nur Sajjad has encroached areas only meant for women, especially when it comes to performing prayers. And that concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story, Malaysians returning from Wuhan, China to be quarantined. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for more updates. I'm Renee Fong. Stay tuned to TV2 and have a pleasant evening.